Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about preparing your children for the tribulation and the time that we're going to have to flee to the wilderness. I wanted to start out with a story that happened to us. Mike is a retired police officer. He served for 20 years, and one night there was a credible threat against a police family. We didn't know which police family, but the person was going to come kill a whole family. Knowing this, Mike and our neighbor watched our house. Our children are already in bed. I can't remember if they were sleeping or not yet. They were in bed because I went and got them out of bed. And I told them to grab their pillows and stuff and to go downstairs. So one of my daughters had a big pop-up tent, got that all ready, put in a TV and a DVD player in her tent, and gave them snacks and games. And I told them their main rule that night was that they had to stay in the basement. If they needed to use the bathroom, they had to use the basement bathroom versus coming upstairs. If they wanted something out of their rooms, they needed to ask me. They had a great time. I was trying to protect them, knowing that it would be harder to shoot into a basement versus into their room. So when we're dealing with the tribulation and our children, we want to do it that way. We want to make it fun so they don't realize how scary it can be. We don't want them afraid. We don't want to create fear in them, because God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So we don't want to create that in our children. So thinking about what you would need to have for children in the tribulation and start practicing. So one thing that will be very necessary is quiet. How do you get a 3-year-old to be quiet? If your 3-year-olds are anything like mine were, they're going to talk, they're going to sing, they're going to dance, they're going to laugh, they're going to play. But how do you get them to be quiet? So the thought I had as I prayed about this was, you teach them. You say, we're going to be quiet for 2 minutes. And you're quiet for 2 minutes. We're going to be quiet for 5 minutes. And you're quiet for 5 minutes. We're going to play charades, and we can't talk to each other at all. We can only act out what we need and slowly bring that out. Okay, you got to use your whole body, but now we're only using our arms, or now we're only using our hands. But teaching them how to be quiet, slowly extending it so that when you are out fleeing, you can say, we're playing the quiet game now. So they're not afraid, they're not scared, but they're quiet. Another thing is, if you have a family that argues, or you have a person, one of your children that likes to argue with you and likes to argue with everyone else, that's not going to do. It's going to make things 1,000,000 times harder on you and on them. So do some team building exercises. You can find a ton of them online. One thing that I was thinking about is just teaching them to set the table. You can make it fun. All right, we're going to set the table as sloths tonight. And let them have fun and engaging and helping each other. And, oh, look, Susie did an awesome sloth. Let's have Susie show us how she did that sloth so we can all try it. And building each other up. Oh, look, Johnny did a great squid, let's say. So teaching them to help each other and work together without fighting, making it fun so that they don't want to argue. Another situation that I was thinking about is hide and seek. If you have to hide, you know how little kids, they hide in the most obvious places. Most of the time we're pretending we don't see them as we're playing hide and seek. Oh my goodness, I can't find little Susie as she's sitting right next to you with the pillow covering her. So show them where to hide. I want you to stay in this hiding spot until I give you the code word or the code phrase. And you don't come out unless somebody can give you the code phrase. Whenever you're disciplining your kids, if you've got kids that do not listen to you, if you're having to count to 3, that is going to be detrimental to you, your family, anyone else that you're with. They need to learn to obey you the first time, every time. So the consequence needs to be quick, and the consequence needs to get their attention. I have 3 children. The consequences for one didn't necessarily work for the other. So figure out what will work for them, what gets their attention, and do it. You need them to obey you immediately. This being said, we live in a wicked, wicked world. There are adults that are awful people. You don't want them to obey every adult. So you teach them that too. You have to obey mommy and daddy. If somebody's trying to get you to do something that you know breaks God's law, you don't have to do it. You tell them. If somebody wants you to do something that you know isn't okay, you don't do it. You teach them those boundaries. When we flee, we, as Torah observant believers, do Sukkot, right? We've all practiced camping. But have we practiced camping hard, like what we're going to do? I don't think any of us have. We've had fun. It's supposed to be fun. Sukkot, part of the command is no complaining, that we're supposed to do it with joy. How do we teach them to camp out, being prepared for the time that we're fleeing in the wilderness? So these are ideas that I thought of. My first idea is, in your child's bug out bag, you put a few, not a lot, because you just still need to put some things in there that they will need, but you put some toys in there that only get to be used when you're playing camp out. So, and I know this works well when my children were little. My youngest is 4 years younger than her sister that's older than her. So when we would sit down to do school, I started having school toys that she only could play during school. So she could get them out when school started, but when school was over, she had to put them up. So she looked forward to playing with those toys, and she was familiar with them. That's what you're going to do with your toys in the bug out bag. You're going to pull them out for camping, camp play, but you are not going to let them play with them any other time. So if you have a stuffed animal in there and they're saying, oh, I want to play with that stuffed animal, and you'll say, it's not camp out time. We don't only play with that stuffed animal at camp out time. What kind of toys would you put in there? Again, I'm thinking about my children, and my children, all 3 of them, are such different personalities. My oldest child, she would have thrived. She's a writer. She writes novels. She writes articles for magazines. She loves to write. She always has. So when she was little, I would have made sure that she had paper and pencils, maybe colored pencils, so she could draw the pictures. And I would have her writing stories because she loved that. I might even get some of those books that have the journal prompt at the top so she can finish filling in the story. That would help keep her calm and quiet, getting to write stories. My second daughter, she wouldn't have liked writing stories, but she was very crafty. She loved to make things. She loved to create. She was musical. So I would have added things in there that she could create. Maybe I would add paper and scissors because that's easy, and glue. Or maybe I would, as she got older, add thread to make zeet-zeets and add some beads so she could make zeet-zeets or necklaces or something like that. My youngest wouldn't have liked either of those things. She as a little girl, always played dolls. When she was little, I had to take her doll with her doll stroller everywhere we went. So I would have added a doll for hers. And I might even add her doll, get a backpack that we could put the doll in so it looks like the doll is riding on her back. And I might add a couple of things for her doll that makes it look like her doll's having camp out too. Maybe some toy food and stuff for her doll. So those are the kind of things. Think about your child. Think about their likes and their needs and their wants. And add what they would help them stay calm, help them still feel like they're getting to be a little kid. That's the first thing. So when you have camp out night, if it's cold, like right now it's the winter, it's not been cold here. Should be, but it's not. But maybe camp out in your living room. So you're only going to use what's in your bug out bag, or what you would be able to take with you when you were fleeing. So you're not going to have a tent. I can't carry a tent. I don't think that my family and I, if it's time to flee, we're having to flee on foot. I don't see us carrying the tent. I don't see us, it's heavy. We're going to have our bug out bags. I don't see us grabbing a tent, but we have tarps. So you would grab your tarp. All right, we have a tarp. Let's make a fort. You can make a fort under a table. You can make it with chairs. You can make a fort, pin it up against the wall so that it is angled so you can sleep under there. Have your children help you come up with how you build a fort. So, okay, I have a tarp. How else can we build this fort? When you're out, there's rocks, there's sticks, there's trees. Maybe there's the side of a hill or a mountain. Help me figure out how we can make our camp out. Where can we put our fort today? What can we use? And let them try. If they say, oh, this stick, and that stick's not going to hold the fort up, let them try. Say, all right, let's try it. And when it doesn't work, say, oh man, that didn't work. Let's try something else. Help them help you think through so they're used to it and they're so prepared to make themselves forts. When this happens, there's not going to be electricity. We're so used to the electricity. So when you do camp out night, especially at your house, turn off all the lights. No lights. You can go to Dollar Tree and they have those glow sticks. They have the necklaces and the sticks, and get some of those. Let them use those. Have your flashlight. Okay, we're only using glow sticks and flashlights. There may come a time where you can't use any light at all. So slowly take those. Make it darker and fun slowly, Okay, we do this the first time. We have a flashlight and glow sticks. The next time, we're not going to use a flashlight this time. We're only going to use our glow sticks. And then slowly take away the amount of glow sticks so they get used to it. For snacks and dinner, well, while you're at your house, you're not going to cook if you're not using electricity. So crackers, peanut butter, cheese, canned fruits, things like that. If you're out getting to camp outside somewhere, you're able to forage and fish, do that. Okay, we're going to fish tonight and we're going to forage for something else. Oh, look, there's some dandelions. We know we can eat those. Oh, look, there's some blueberries. We know we can eat those. So help them help you come up with things that they can do. That being said, I do want to say this. I do think there's going to come a time where God is going to give us manna. And this is only getting you to that point. Okay? So another thing that you would need, and your kids would need to know, is, are you going to be able to carry blankets, as many blankets as you need? Okay, so what can we use to stay warm? We can cuddle together. We can add more clothes. We can use branches and leaves. So help them think through what different things that you could do when it's time to go. If you have some other ideas, add them down below in the comments and help other people come up with ideas to prepare their children for this time. I hope you all have a blessed week, and we'll talk to you later.